It's going to be Dr. Hippie versus Like a Bawse. And these guys could not be more different from each other in both their championship runs and, of course, their personalities.
Yeah, Dr. Hippie came into the Winter Championship as the mysterious challenger. All the other players saying, I don't really know much about him. He's really quiet, keeps to himself. Like a Bawse, a little more animated when we had a chance to see him on the stage at the preliminary during his win. You know, more reminiscent of AKA Wonder and his sort of passionate outburst at his qualification as well.
Yeah, like back in winter season, the only thing people knew about Dr. Hippie was that he's rank 1 legend, freeze mage player. By the way, I want to point it out that we see a mage in his lineup, but that's not going to be a freeze mage. It's actually going to be more like tempo-based mage with like double Kabbalist Tome and even Archmage Antonidas. And about Like a Bawse, I mean, it's a really fun guy to hang around and very talkative and very like positive attitude towards life.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at Dr. Hippie's road to get to the championships. Another player to make it through the winner's bracket, so a relatively easy but impressive run for Dr. Hippie once again. And he hasn't really shaken that title of the Mysterious Challenger, even though he's had more spotlights. He had the 3rd, 4th place finish at Star Ladder recently, and he joined a pretty big organization, Virtus Pro. People still don't really know too much about him.
Yeah, and one thing people felt like they did know about him is that, oh, Dr. Hippie plays Freeze Mage, and yet here he is not playing Freeze Mage. He was saying that he didn't want to be predictable. He didn't want people to just, know to bring Ragnaros in every deck. Amusingly, Sarasi said, oh, I know George C and Dr. Hippie are going to be there. I should just play Ragnaros in every deck. But, Dr. Hippie, he sniffed that out, and it's kind of unusual. He's the only player in the entire field who's playing the traditional Dragon Warrior, and he's also playing the Tempo Mage, sort of known as the methodical Freeze Mage player, and yet having this much more aggressive lineup for this particular event.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy personally to see that there's not that many Dragon Warriors around with the faster versions, but Dr. Hippie is choosing to bring it here. Definitely a strong deck. It's just I'm still glad that we see a lot of variety in the warrior list in general.
Yeah, a lot of control warriors in this field, a lot of N'Zoth warriors, and maybe that's a little bit of a nod to the changes with Shaman, where mid-range Shaman might be becoming a little bit more popular. It's hard to tell, but definitely taking some inspiration from Americas, I think, where Dragon Warrior, when it wasn't banned, actually struggled a little bit to find wins and strategies that weren't revolved around banning Warrior. So you can see on screen there, Dr. Hippie defeating Tivis to qualify, and Tivis, of course, eventually making it to the top 8, but unable to come. So Dr. Hippie, definitely a player to look out for. The only other player who's finished second place at a championship that's come back in a repeat performance has won. That was Handsome Guy for Asia Pacific. So definitely a player. But let's go ahead and take a look at his opponent, Like a Bawse, and his run. By far the longest run through the preliminaries out of any player, having to beat something like 9 opponents.
Yeah, the lineup of opponents he had to battle his way through in what had to be an incredibly long tournament experience.
Yeah, certainly Like a Bawse and other players to look out for. Just looking at the list of players he's beaten during the preliminaries, like
it's literally twice as many as some players. Some players went 5-0. He went 8-1. It's crazy.
And now he only needs to win 3 more matches, and
that's a short day for him.
Yes, absolutely.
And he's a very emotional player, as you'll see as we roll through these clips. Even just after winning Game 2, getting a little bit pumped there. He's the first player to compete in the 2016 circuit for the championships. That is from Greece, and the Greek community is known for being pretty emotional. He said back at home, there's people that are setting up sort of LAN events to come watch him compete at the championships. So definitely his family and his country is sort of behind him in this one.
And with a picture of his daughter, they're being so happy. It's just a very animated guy. How do you not root for this guy?
Yeah, I mean, this is the sort of emotion, the sort of passion for the game that I love to see. We see lots of players who are there cool, calm, and calculating, and I can respect that. But when you see someone who clearly cares so much about their performance and so much about the game, this is their response. That's incredible.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the prediction phase of the pre-show. So, Savitz, you're up first.